this video I'm going to be showing you exactly how I make 5K a day from paid ads at 16 years old. You can see right here, this ad right here is doing $4 per DM conversation. And you can see right here, we're paying $12 per call, right, off just one day. That was the 10th of July, $90 in spend, 13 followers at a $7 cost per follow, 9 inbound DMs from the inbound ads right here. That resulted in a $10 cost per DM roughly, and then about 19 outbound DMs. We booked 7 calls on the 10th of July. We booked 9 calls a day before that. And this, by the way, is inaccurate because we were running 4 hours. So you can see this on my client's profile, how many just DMs we're getting right here from these DM ads, from his ICP, and just the sheer number of calls we're booking. So with that said, let's jump right into the first step is having the automated Instagram ecosystem, which right now consists of CRA ads and then story ads. This is for quick cash and this is for long term and a bit of quick cash. So the first step is having to understanding of cognitive biases, right? Because a cognitive response ad, what it does is it uses these cognitive biases right here inside like an ad framework to make people respond in a way that is ideal for us. And the reason why that's important is because having these cognitive biases mean that we can shortcut decisions inside of the brains of the people viewing the ads, which means that we can get results at a much lower cost. We can get highly qualified leads and we can get a ton of them really quickly. And so a few of these biases is like comparative contrast, loss aversion, anchoring effect, availability heuristic, the herd effect, which is a really interesting one. I'm going to talk about that later. Endowment effect, contribution effects, confirmation bias. And so you can see right here, we use a primal based hook. We then list 3 problems. Then right before that listing, we also have the confirmation bias right here. So that's one of the biases we use. We have all these different kind of effects which we try and include in the ad. And so the whole concept here is that we're trying to embed these principles into an ad. And so one example of that is with the herd effect. This is what I was talking about just before. We're going, for example, to test comment ads instead of DM ads. Why? Because if you see a ton of comments on a video, it's going to trigger that herd effect where it skips the thinking of if I should comment, because you see all these other human beings doing it. And so you're kind of like, okay, let's see, you see all these people doing it. And so you're just going to follow up, right? Imagine this is like a cafe, right? So it's a cafe, these people are lined up. You're going to join the line, right? If you see all these other people in the line. Whereas if you see no one in the line at the cafe, you're going to wonder if the cafe is good, because why is no one actually at the cafe if it's so good? So this is one of those like biases we use in an ad. And so we're going to be testing comment ads over DM ads. It's going to have the FOMO, it's going to have the herd effect, and it's going to remove the need for critical thinking. That's an example. Anyone watching, test this out. Let me know how it goes. I think personally it's going to do really well. And so the whole idea is using these cognitive biases, and there are many more in your ad. So embedding them into your ad, okay? The next step now is having these people from the ad, and this is the framework we use, going ahead and following on your Instagram landing page. Why follow? It's another bias because it doesn't cost them anything, meaning we can get followers at $1 to $2 each. That's our client average, who are qualified. And what this allows us to do is have them in a place where they can get nurtured. So the ideal setup is having a lifestyle profile picture, an authoritative bio like mine, then having like multiple result highlights, having reels with covers, and then having some lifestyle here to make you look like a real person. And then within that, nurturing people with daily stories, which is a perception builder, where you share personal results, client results, lifestyle, and messaging. Once again, these are all biases. If people see you're living the life, if people see your client succeeding, if people see you succeeding, they're gonna kind of skip that critical thinking again and just kind of obey, just listen, which is extremely beneficial in your marketing. And so the way that you can have that happen is just if you're consistent. Same thing with daily reels, right? We're posting nurture reels and then also some top of funnel reels just for consistency. And from there, we funnel these people to the microwave method, which is a niche YouTube channel where you're posting valuable videos. This is an old screenshot. Today, I hit 502 subs. The videos are kind of popping right now, getting like 300 views per video, which is 300 of my ICP. Why? Because my ads, my YouTube videos do the titles, like they do the targeting in the titles, right? If you look at these, it's like, okay, info product, 10K a month, bang, followers. Like it's kind of like I'm doing the targeting in the YouTube thumbnails and titles, funnel. And so if you're using buzzwords in your content that only your ICP resonates with, info, right? They're gonna watch it. And so I know that out of the 300 viewers, they're my ICP, which means that people are getting nurtured, and a lot of them are getting nurtured. 300 people at my ticket price will make me a ton of money, right? Especially considering the revenue share side of things. And then you need to be consistent. I suggest like doing Figma / Miro boards like I've been doing, and breaking down your unique mechanism in detail and just showing personal client results, right? What I do earlier, I showed you results. Now it's time to think, whilst I break down the unique mechanisms, that I have this source. And then we get into one-to-one human connection, which is where kind of the actual story ads also link to. Now, the story ads are a different kind of format. We use the AIDA format, which stands for attention, interest, desire, action. And so once again, we're embedding this framework into a trend. A trend is like something organic that's performing, so that when people see it, they don't actually think that it's an ad. What that means is that people actually can consume it without being skeptical. It's another one of those biases, right? If it looks like a normal piece of content, they're not going to think it's an ad. So this, if you're in the info space, you know, looks like a normal info Instagram story. Well, we have the attention, we have like the interest kind of embedded into that. We have the desire and the proof, and then we have the call to action. And we run these to Instagram DMs because once again, it's cheap, low cost, low commitment. They click one button, it's short and long term. We're gonna test the comment idea soon. And this funnels to one-to-one human connection, right? So from this, people on your Instagram landing page, we're gonna have the AI setter reach out to these people and like start to convert them. Same thing when it comes to the story ads. We're gonna have these people, of course, reaching out. So what are we leveraging here? We're leveraging the cognitive bias of authority, because authority builds instant trust, and trust is the most important currency in 2025, because without trust, no one's gonna actually buy from you. So one-to-one human connection is literally like the epitome of trust. It's one-to-one. Instead of a VSL, instead of a landing page, instead of any of this BS, like these people are actually getting nurtured by you, they're trusting you, they're liking you, all these things. And on top of that, you know, you can follow up with them unlimited times. You can call them, send them voice notes, send them images, do whatever. There's so many features, and the trust generated is insane, okay? You're gonna book way more calls and have a way higher cash collection. Now, the problem is you can't do it yourself. So you need to have someone leverage it for you. Now, traditionally, you would use an appointment setter, but the problem is an appointment setter is a human who's lazy, fat, doesn't work hard, unmotivated, needs to eat, needs to sleep. That's why I've just created Informatic. This isn't a pitch, but it's extremely smart to do if you are a business owner in this space, because if you just think about it numerically, a human appointment setter is flawed in so many ways, right? With AI, you can have it set to respond within 1 to 2 minutes, right? And the stats say themselves, in this inside sales, waiting longer than 5 minutes dropped lead qualification rates by over 80%, right? Then we have from Harvard Business Review, responding within 2 minutes increases conversion rates by 391%. So if you have AI setting in your business, you're going to increase conversion rates by 381%. And that's not even far from the truth, right? It's not even hard to believe. We fired our setter in 1 week of putting Informatic on my done for you client Matt's offer. And we're already at 9 calls a day, 7 calls a day. It's genuine. I believe that it's 400% better, because before the human was booking 1 to 2 calls a day, right? And so most people think ads is the problem, but a lot of the time it's actually human. It's actually their setter. So after 30 minutes, the chance of converting the lead drops by over 90%. Imagine having a setter who sleeps 9 hours, eats for 2, scrolls on social media for 3. Imagine all these hours where people are just getting cold. Imagine the percentage that you're losing by having a human setter. Once again, I'm not trying to pitch you, I'm just trying to outline. Any smart business owner will see how important it is to have an AI setter that works 24/7, giving you 40 to 70% more conversions, allowing you to book 50 to 100% more calls from ads, and also an 80% drop in ghosted conversations, because the AI will follow up with people who don't reply, and you can set the exact follow-up sequence. So the whole thing here is that it eliminates human flaws. It doesn't steal 5% of your revenue. It doesn't need to eat, doesn't need to sleep, doesn't get lazy, doesn't watch social media, doesn't need motivation, doesn't need you to do review calls with it, which I know you hate. I hate doing calls with setters. It's just the worst thing. You tell them to do something, they never do it, and it's just banging your head against the wall, to be honest. And it already has a high frame of authority, because at least with ours, it's not just some AI API that we're adding on top of things. Like, it's actually trained on a ton of data, which means that it already knows how to talk exactly like you, and it has that firm authority, which means you book the call, you close the client, and you redeploy that cash flow back into this funnel. And then you literally have a money producing machine, right? You have attention, inbound DMs, and then you have those inbound DMs getting set. And throughout the whole process, people are getting nurtured by your content. Within that, like your results, your client results, your personal results, your lifestyle, your messaging, all these different things. So it's just extremely optimized. Now, if you're tired of your human setup, then DM me Informatic on Instagram to learn more. We haven't really fully launched yet, but I'm happy to tell you more. And then DM me Ecosystem if you want to scale to 50K a month with your own automated Instagram ecosystem, which is exactly what I broke down for you in this video. That said, appreciate your time. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next one.